I am happy to be with you today and grateful to your chairman for inviting me to address this conference of the Indian Institute of Technology. It is always a pleasure for me to visit this great institute. I have watched the development of this institute with great interest. I did not realize that it is 10 years since this institute began to function, but even this is a short time in the life of an institution and perhaps too short for us to make a correct assessment of its performance. This institute has, however, grown in these last 10 years and made a great effect on higher technological education in our country. As the director has reported, the institute has granted degrees to thousands of students throughout these years. This is a record to be proud of. I am happy to know that the research activity of the various departments of the institute has grown in a big way and that the institute is organizing special courses, seminars, and many more conferences. All these activities are an integral part of the total process of continuing education. This is also an important means of establishing close contact between industry and the world of learning. It is a common assumption among developing countries that the mere availability of science and knowledge of science makes technological development automatic and inevitable. But science is not merely a tool, it is a habit of mind, an integral element of thinking and being and living. How do we build this element into cultures of people whose traditions not yet include as a dynamic influence? By training men and women and children to act in accordance with scientific intelligence and knowledge, to cultivate the habit of applying scientific knowledge in the ordinary business of day to day living. In this regard, I would like to make it clear that the mere availability of science and technology does not guarantee that economic development of a country will automatically occur. If science and technology are to contribute to productive processes, special talents must be developed. The people must be trained to apply the knowledge and techniques effectively on a broad front. It should be clear to all of us that the only indispensable investment of Earth's resources is in man. When I asked myself what it is that divides the developed from the developing countries of the world, that divides most of the countries of Asia from our developed countries, I know that it is not science and technology. As I see it, the difference between the developed and the developing countries is that the first have a discipline of work in life and the other by and large are without it. I believe that without hard and disciplined work, no large scale development is really possible. Our national policy with regard to science and technology must advance with the ideas that I have explained so as to make them applicable to the lives of millions of people in a collective and dynamic way. Universities, research laboratories, technical institutes are all collective enterprises without which a traditional society cannot move forward into modern. The fundamental problem is not, therefore, why we shall educate, but it is how we shall educate. But I agree that the advance of science and in technology is a continuing one. I hope that those of you who are assembled here would make every effort in your own enterprise to devote a significant part of your resources for the development of the kind of technology that will suit best to the conditions in our country. Dear sir, we thank you for your prompt reply in response to our advertisement. We have carefully gone through your letter and considered the points raised by you. We have great pleasure in appointing you as our agent for South India. We hope that your long experience in the field activity will be valuable and will lead to an extension of our business. At present, we are dealing with only the sale of electrical items. The main aim of appointing you as our sole agent for South India is that your efforts will increase our sales. We offer a salary of 10,000 rupees per month, in addition to a commission of 5% on all orders. A reasonable amount will also be allowed to you for meeting the expenses in visiting the different parts of our area. Price lists and catalogs will be provided by the firm at free of cost. Any suggestions from you for improving the sales will be highly appreciated. Hope you would accept our terms and conditions of offer to act as agent. It is not out of place to mention here that, looking to your long experience in this field of activity, we are very much interested to appoint you as our agent. We enclose here with a copy of the agreement for your guidance. Looking forward to the pleasure of receiving a positive reply from your end at an early date. Yours faithfully.